There's a million of those who won't let us be, but they're not gonna see me bleed. Cause baby, I got you. I've been beaten to the ground, dragged across the dirt. I've been scared to live cause some people never learn. But they're not gonna watch me burn. Cause baby, I got you. It's a new beginnings and a better life. It's the dancing underneath the disco lights. They can try but they can never take me down. Ooh, cause I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. They always bring all the lonely, but with you here nothing can scare me. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I will tell them what I'm feeling forevermore. I don't care about the feelings, not anymore. So let's show them that love is pure, no matter who it's for. It's a new beginnings and a better life. It's the dancing underneath the disco light. They can try but they can never take me down. Cause I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. They always bring all the lonely, but with you here nothing can scare me. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. Not afraid to love you. Not afraid to love you. I'm gonna go where my heart is. From now on, I'll be an artist. I'm gonna show that I got this love. Cause I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. They always bring all the lonely, but with you here nothing can scare me. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. Not afraid to love you. Not afraid to love you.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's time for another Power Play show with Coach Frenchy, Andrew Lepage, ENORTAP, and Michael Vivela. It's time, Power Play show. Here we go. We are back for another Power Play Show edition special on the August 8th on Monday, 2022. And we are directly from Toronto, Ontario. We can call him the underrated of the Hockey Nation live show. Mr. ENORTAP back in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation.
Because tonight,
Here we
Mr.
go
Nata, we
again.
talk about the over and underrated of the NHL players. It could be the upcoming season. It could be in the past, ever. It's not matter.
Okay.
We're going to start this tonight, Mr. Nata, at 9:30. We turn on the heat of the oven and we're going to cook all the donuts at the same time and we're going to rock and roll this show until 10:30 tonight, Mr. Natap. I can wait to run after. Who is overrated? Who is underrated? Okay, we're going to talk about this, of course. We're going to talk about really
The Leafs
active
overrated.
action in NHL today, Mr. Natap. 5 players have a new contract for the upcoming season. Going to talk about happening. Boston Bruins was active today. And, they picked up a couple of great players over there. So it'll be interesting what you think about that team today. Then we have a Vegas signature new players. And another team I can remember, not one over there, Arizona Coyotes. 2 of the 5 players got Mr. Nata, 5 years contract. Really surprised me a little bit, but we're going to talk about all the stuff like that the next couple of minutes. But until then, we have to welcome everybody, and hopefully you're ready to rock and roll, Mr. Nata. Before we start, welcome everybody. I want to tell me a little bit more what it was your day and what you expect for tonight for the Hockey Nation Live Show Power Play Show.
Oh, this is going to be a good one, Coach. I'm looking forward to tonight. Rating overrated and underrated players, teams. It'll be good. It'll be good.
You cannot start the show without this guy because that's opened the door and we have to welcome back. Sometimes we call him the bard, sometimes we call him the monkey, sometimes we call him the monkey, but now we call him the puck monkey, and he's back in the house tonight.
Hey, Puck. Coach?
I'm sure he has some player, Mr. Nortap, about the...
He's underrated.
Absolutely right about that one over there. And we don't have a lot overrated here. Not many.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. We're going to get them a bit later. By the way, we missed Mr. Renault. By the way, I don't know what's going on with Mr. Renault. And look at person and the vacation's over, so we'll see if they are back. But talking about underrated, we're not talking about the underrated James Bond. Vinny 007 back in the house tonight. Welcome back, Vinny. And sometimes we call him Alexandre, sometimes we call him the Alexandre Dubois. But now we call him the Wood because he's a number of friends of the Buffalo Sabres, directly de la belle province de Québec. Back in the house, Mr. Alexandre the Wood Dubois.
Hey, Alexandre.
I'm sure he has some underrated inside our hockey club he loved the most. Talking about underrated directly from the Saint-Georges-de-Beauce. He's not only one underrated because we talk about not only Zenit, talk about Zela and Caroline. Welcome back, the Zenit Gaming family.
Hey,
Directement de la belle province. Not la belle province, but directly from North Carolina. The boy fans of the Detroit Red Wings and the Carolina Hurricane back in the house tonight. Another underrated, Mr. KLS is in the house tonight.
How's it going, Clump Sauce?
And the number one fans of the Chicago Blackhawks, I don't know they are underrated or overrated. I don't know, but it's going to be very hard for them. We'll see what happens. But we want to welcome back Mr. Underrated, the family Di Pietro. Welcome back in the house.
Nick.
The Colorado Avalanche number one fans in the chat tonight. I'll talk about underrated. Many of them are underrated. Of course, the champion of the Stanley Cup 22, Mr. Steve G, back in the house tonight, Mr. Nortap.
How's it going, Stevie?
And we talk him about the beignet. Now we talk him about the donuts, but we can never forget his really name is Bobby. The Baguette Donuts back in the house tonight.
Specialty donuts. Here we go. Yeah.
You know, Mr. Natap, not only him is underrated, but his donuts is, of course, underrated. They have some spicy donuts you never saw around the world. They are only on the Strip in Vegas. That's the only place you can find those kinds of donuts, Mr. Natap. So
we're going to check them out.
Yep. We know is the beignet, the Bobby beignet corner Donuts about this one over there. And we have Cassius, the creator. Welcome aboard, Mr. Cassius. I think it's the first time in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. We cannot qualify him underrated yet. All right, because we do not know him yet, but hopefully he's going to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show. He's going to be another great supporter of the family of the Hockey Nation Live Show. We just want to welcome him, Mr. Cassius, the creator. Where Bobby is the creator of the donuts, by the way. But that's the subject. Talking about underrated, he cannot find anyone underrated like her, Mr. ENORTAP. Directly from Ontario, Miss Kelly back in the house tonight. Welcome back.
Going, Kelly?
From West Canadian, somewhere, somehow. He's back with us, number one fans of the Edmonton Oilers, Mr. Tim Morrison.
Tim, welcome.
What about the underrated team, Los Angeles King, last season? One of the great surprise, honestly, shock. The Kings did very well on the playoff, but the number of fans of the Hockey Nation Live Show supporter member and the big fan of the Los Angeles King, the Lucky Luke, Mr. Ron King 20 back in the house.
Welcome, Ron.
We have so many underrated. Talk about the underrated, Mr. William McLaren. Welcome back from Canada.
Welcome aboard.
Do you think the chocolate donut is underrated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. They're the best.
They are the one you have to step up the morning.
But there's so
that's
many
a good
different
one
types.
about this one, for sure.
Double chocolate, chocolate filled.
Here we go. And you'll find your first one, Mr. ENORTAP. Randy N. The most underrated co-host is ENORTAP. You're absolutely right, Mr. Randy N. No one
Thank you, Randy.
can be beside like Mr. ENORTAP. No one. Not Pierre McGuire. Not Jones. Not Jeremy Roenick. No one like Mr. ENORTAP. We can talk about this one over there. Fun fact of the day, Bill Stewart was the first American coach to win the Stanley Cup. He also refereed NHL game and umpire MLL game, Bill Stewart.
I didn't know that. Thanks, Ron.
But you talk about underrated, Mr. ENORTAP. Take a time on that one over there because he's the one, whatever he does, we don't like his team, honestly, but we're not going to tell him. But we all like him a lot. Another great supporter of the Hockey Nation Live Show. Ladies and gentlemen, open the door because it's time to present Mr. Stu Peterson.
Hey, Stu. How's it going?
Here right now in the middle of the Pennsylvania, Mr. ENORTAP. So now he's a little bit what's going on with it, but we're going to follow him for sure what's going on. Underrated, of course, a new member of the Hockey Nation Show as an insider, Mr. Marco Larrabee, directly from Ottawa, Mr. ENORTAP, back in the house tonight. Talking about underrated, what about Mr. Pete Martin back in the house?
Here's the man.
The man of the men. Always great to hear his comment on the video every day, Mr. ENORTAP. What about him? Mr. Whoa, I don't know he's a new member, but maybe not. But if it is, if he's not, welcome back. If you are, welcome in the Hockey Nation Live Show. Mr. David Aziabre is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP.
Hey, David, welcome back.
We talk about underrated, Mr. ENORTAP. We talk about underrated about all its French shark around the world. I'm talking about Micro Lab Shark HD. Unbelievable. He's back with us tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. Love to see him around and talk about underrated sharks. You know, I don't know if he was on the Jaws 1 movie or number 2. We need to figure out this one there. I don't know he was there in 1972, but I'm not sure.
Jaws 2.
Yeah.
He was in Jaws 2,
Yeah, he was definitely on the Jaws too, for sure. I'm sure. Yeah, you have to go that one over there. Mr. Day, welcome, man. Thanks for popping by. Look, la personne is back in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. We talk about another underrated from l'Ange Gardien dans la belle province de Québec. Les vacances sont terminées, mon Luc. Was a couple episodes this week.
Luke.
It gave out great content. Thanks so much, David. He talked about one of the maybe a friend of the Marco. So thanks to be with us, Mr. David. Thanks to join the Hockey Nation live show.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, we absolutely right. A lot of donuts, but probably the worst thing you can possibly eat a deep French break with a sugar on it. Yep.
And once in a while, Steve, they're okay.
You know, use the rules, Steve. 90-10, the 10% eat everything you can. That'd be great. That would be the right way to do. I'm talking about another rated Mr. Adam Berger back in the house, the teacher, the swimmer. He's with us tonight, Mr. Adam. I think he was his first day at school or something like that, and I'm sure he's happy the signature of Mr. Roy for the Vegas Golden Knight. We'll talk about him the next couple of minutes.
When does school start in the States?
I'm sorry again?
When does school start in the States? We don't start
usually the
until September.
third week of August. It depends. Like in Mississippi, example, Florida, everything like that, they start earlier. Do you know why?
No.
Hurricane. So
right,
they
okay,
expect to miss a couple of days and to
Makes
recover in case we miss for 1 week. So they start a little bit earlier and they finish a little bit late. More for Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, this area really at the bottom, like Texas, of course. But then you have to have the third weeks, and then you have to go all the way north. They start a bit later, but that's the reason why they do that in the north and the south, by the way. So
And Adam, when do you finish, Adam?
and Vegas will be like in June, I believe. Like the state I mentioned to you, they finish in the end of the May usually.
Oh, end of May. Okay.
Yeah.
So we go till the end of June. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Makes sense.
they give 3 days. And November, I think, or at the end of October, yeah, but at the end of October, they have a holiday. So they give an extra 2 days in the state I mentioned to you, in case if they have hurricanes. So they are flexible those 2 days. If they have to go back school because they missed too many days, they go back on that one over there. So really interesting about that one over there. But and Coach Marco said that David is a huge, big ass fan and knows his stuff. Glad to see him, David. Possible if you can want to join us one night, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. Randy talk about Philip. We're going to talk about this, Randy, and everybody in the chat at 9:30. We're going to talk about the subject, and so we can stay on the track tonight because in ENORTAP he put everybody outside the track sometimes. So we want to be sure we are on the right spot about that. I do not think Vegas can afford sign Hodge now, Coach. They have other plans, Adam. We don't know, honestly. It would be interesting to follow them. Of course, they just signed what? You're absolutely right, Adam, about this.
They never run out of money in Vegas. I don't get it.
Just come out in 1975, Mr. Nota.
That's right. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Micro. You know, I watched the movie, made the preview 3 years earlier. And then after that, they was out in 1975, Mr. Notap. What about the underrated Mr. Rudolph Halyanakin back in the house tonight?
How's it going, Rudolph? Welcome.
Oh, it's high on that one over there. Sadawi. That's the first thing. Sadawi is hello. And then Kukran. Kukran is thank you. Yeah, Cobb Kran.
Did you say salami?
No, salami. So salami is just for the pizza. It's sawadi. And you have to add, if you want to be nice, you have to say sawadi crab. For men and women, it's ka. So we'll see. You know, if I can know 3 words before I show up over there, it's how much is it?
You could be, actually, Coach, you could be the first person to do play-by-play in Thai. That would be amazing.
That would be great if I can learn about puck and stick and, you know, about that one over there. Directly from Hooters tonight. Welcome back at the Hockey Nation Live Show. Talk about underrated, Mr. Nata. We talk about an amazing, great man, human being, Mr. Roger Delaney, back in the house tonight.
Roger the Master.
We have to mention that one. Underrated, poutine, overrated, ketchup, chip.
I agree.
Biggest start number August 8th. And for all the people, guys, about the topic, we're going to start at 9:30. So I understand, Ron, everybody. We just try to stay and Miss Human, when they connect about that. End of the May, Mr. Adam, Mr. Untitled for Mr. About this meeting my new boss tomorrow. Oh, that's some look. Tell her she can subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live show. We're going to talk about her anytime if you want to. Look, we're going to open the door for her.
Any
That's
opportunity,
maybe helping.
Luke. We have to put.
We open, Mr. Untitled. We are good. We are a good one about this one there. What about Mr. Joseph Phyllis, another new subscriber to the Hockey Nation Live show, Mr. Untitled. Glad to see him aboard. Thanks so much, Joseph, to be with us. Of course, another underrated in the house.
Welcome aboard, Joseph.
Roger said, when I was a kid in Prince Edward Island, school start in middle August, so kid can help pick potatoes and fall harvest, Mr. Untitled.
Ooh, that's
It's about like 7 years ago when Roger graduated for the university, and then that's what happening to him. So Roger's just turned 33 years old for 4 months ago, I believe. So Roger, happy birthday, belated.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Talk about underrated, Mr. Untitled. He's underrated. He's the man of the men. What about this guy? I don't know what to tell you. It's all about this update NHL every single day, every single night. Mr. Untitled, he gave the best of everything happening around the league. Mr. RJ Calabro from New Jersey.
Hey, RJ, welcome.
There we go. 18 like, don't forget. Talk about underrated, Mr. Untitled. What about this one? The Moy, the Salut, directly from Sona, somewhere in Finland, Mr. Yamo Vartanen.
Moi, Yarmo.
I would pick, it would say underrated over there, or as an answer fan page. Not a lot round, you can take all the underrated everywhere. We're going to give you the name of the team in the next couple of minutes, and then we can go from there all the time that way over there. Is there a lot of French Canadian in Thailand? Not really, Marco. A few, but not many compared like in Florida, where you go to Hollywood Beach, where it's all about French Canadian. And we recognize them very well, very quickly on the beach usually, but that's another subject about that one over there for another subject. Another time, took a photo of the star, but it was really red chorizo sausage. Nazla took a photo of the star, but it was really red chorizo sausage. Here we go. That's a good one about this. What about another subscriber, another member, supporter of the Hockey Nation Live show? The Penguin 678 is in the house.
Hey, Penguins, welcome.
Welcome aboard. Thanks to be there with us tonight. Focus on the player, but I think we can guess what's fan base are overrated. Yamo said Canada 4-2. 3 minutes left. I think it's the World Junior Championship. Try to remind me a little bit later, Mr. Untitled, talking about this. I didn't put anything about that one over there. I did not believe it, but the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Blue Jays losing 6-2 at the bottom of the 7. Maybe it's time to go.
Lots of time.
But it's maybe the time right now for everybody to stand up right now and starting to stand, take me out of the ball game possible. Maybe we can do that one day.
7th inning stretch.
Back in the house, Mr. Untitled. We miss him a lot. From Ottawa, number one friend, the Senator, Mr. Corey Hill. He's with us tonight.
How's it going, Corey?
And then the Speedy dog, the Speedy, he lost his job right now. Speedy work only at lunchtime, and we don't have no show anymore. So he don't know what to do about this one over there. Going to play NHL 94, I wish I can sleep. Not a problem. Good luck, my friend. Let's make some goal with Wigar et Lemieux Penguin. Puis put the puck on the top shell and go over Ed Belford. You can give him some beer at the between the bench. He would be fine. You can score that one over him, around him. And we appreciate King of Gamer is in the house. Welcome aboard. Thanks to be with us tonight. I be appreciated. And for all the
Question
question,
answer.
everybody, guys, we're going to answer to your question in the next couple of minutes. We're heading about that one there. We want to welcome another insider of the Montreal Canadian, but on the Hockey Nation live show,
Our
Mr.
buddy.
Andrew Lepage, another underrated,
Andrew.
is in the house tonight.
How's it going, Andrew?
And Korea have a good team this year. Marco, good call. Is somewhat different, same escape. So before we start, we invite you, don't forget, guys, to put the letter Q in front of your question so we can go through this. Anytime you don't have no letter Q, we're not going to go through your statement because we are too busy to do other things during the show. And we're going to try to get some very quickly, very full. And you are the one make that show better by your question and to mention name. And we're going to bring you tonight about this one there. And before we start, Mr. Nota, we can go on that one over there. And here, guys, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to bring you to a specific team. We're going to bring you the lineup, and you can maybe mention one specific name of that team. And that's the way we're going to go through this list tonight. And that'd be awesome. Mr. Nata, we're going to comment about this, of course, on the night. But Mr. Nata, before we get there, in the next couple of minutes, we need to start somewhere. And we're not starting with the breaking news of the day. We have a lot around the league, Mr. Nata. And let's starting with the first.
Music, Coach?
I'm sorry again?
Where's the breaking news music?
The breaking news is coming here. It's just like right now we're looking for this one.
There you go.
I play this because you want to hear that, but it's not a breaking news. That's the reason I did not start that way. I just want to remember everybody, guys, is about to remember everybody. Every day at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, I make a video about the Montreal Canadian. And today is about the Habs worst cap situation in NHL. And I think you said you watched the video, right? It was really specifically deep about the salary cap, about not only the players, but of course the longevity of the contract, the percentage of his contract for the team. Then I'm talking about the position, how much money they put on the center, winger, defenseman, goalies, and then I make two buyout situation. If they buy out like Joel Armia and Paul Biron, I explain the rules about a buyout inside that video. So pretty good. I think if you want to know a little bit more about how this works, how a coach, a GM go deeper, I think it's pretty cool to watch this video. I don't know if you have any comments you want to talk about this, Mr. Notap.
No, I found it very interesting, especially the buyout part. I wasn't 100% certain how that worked, and it was very informative. I was actually very shocked at the very end when you announced, I don't know who the source was, but that they had the worst salary cap situation.
Yeah, so from
league.
Atlantic, a website from Dan
it's the
Lichicek.
Atlantic?
So he works with a GSVA. And because of that situation, that's the reason why they put them with the salary cap they have. So the productivity of the salary, the each players give you a GSV, the value of how much they bring as the winning for the players. So if, as an example, the value of Gallagher is $6 million, but maybe for his formula, it's maybe at $3.5 million, so he become a D as a grade, and then they calculate out each team versus all the team in NHL, and that's the reason why they put them. So Carey Price, example, is a D because he have $10 million, he did not produce GSV. So that's the reason Montreal is at the bottom about that one there. Now, some of them are not always agree because, honestly, it's just analytic data and the formula. So sometimes not everybody is agree with his system, but he's pretty good at 90%, I will be honest with you. He's pretty good about that kind of the formula, everything like that. He does this he does like hockey card that way, explain the value market of each player, what their salary should be versus how they produce every year.
I think right now it's because we have about 5 pretty bad contracts on the team. And
that's the reason about that one over there. So
I
let's move on, Mr. Notap. Here we go. The Boston Bruins signed the veteran. He's going to play his 19 years in NHL, Patrice Bergeron, a $2.5 million AAV with a 2.5 and performance-based bonus, and could be his last dance with the Boston Bruins. Signed, like I mentioned, a one-year contract. Patrice Bergeron, the captain for them, maybe one of the most classy, underrated in NHL. By his performance off ice, on ice, leadership he has, and they are rare player like him, and been always a great professional for me in my eyes. Patrice Bergeron, what you think about that signature?
I thought it was amazing. To get him for $2.5 million, even if and I thought the way they structured it was amazing as well, because should he get into a situation, rather than giving him $5 million for 1 year, they split it up with the AAV, and then the other 2.5 is in performance based, which I think it's something like if he plays 10 games or more, then he collects on most of that, plus some other stipulations as well. But in the event that he gets hurt, right, they're saving from that $5 million that they would have given him, which would have been a good deal on its own, I think, for 1 year. They would be saving on that, and it doesn't affect them. So what? It goes to next year's AAV for the team, the cap hit. I think they did a great thing here. And to me, I would go back to last night's question, the true and false, where we had, I think, Toronto, Florida, Tampa, and Boston, and will they make the playoffs? Both him and Krejci going back to the team, I would now change it to true.
Yeah, is it enough? I don't know yet, right? Because we don't know the how long Marchand, McEnroy, Krejci, and Roddy will be out. But if they want a chance to do that, I think they can. If player like Zaka, Charlie Court, the bottom, right? The bottom, because the bottom is not like great like Fournier. Now they need Jake DeBrus have a good year. They need Craig Smith pick it up over there, and we'll see what they look like at the end of the day. But will be interesting to see how they're going to reach that level. Of course, Patrice Bergeron. So there'll be something to follow up for sure about this one over there. William said, Bergeron, one of my favorite players about this one over there. Bobby said, Bergeron still play like he has his prim. Yeah, absolutely right about this one over there. Great contract for the Bruins. Alexandre said, 10 games to play for the bonus. Great move for them. That's what we are. Stu, Bruins winning. Mr. Stu is, and talking about that one over there. And Mr. Andrew Lepage, Bergeron definitely my favorite in today league as well. William mentioned to him. As long Toronto is in the playoff, the Bruins we have make the second round about that one over there. And that's what we are. Mr. Matthew SLATER and Danny T is in the house. Thanks to join us tonight, both of you.
Hey,
all right, let's move on to the next one, Mr. UNORTAP. And
Coach,
talking about him earlier. I don't know if you saw Bergevin's quote today, where he explained that, over the years that I've played, I've made enough money that I could, the amount I left on the table is not important to me. What's important is that I'm playing with a team that has a definite goal in mind, and that everybody buys into, playing together and aiming to win the cup. So I thought that's one of the most unselfish things anybody could say. Yeah, absolutely about this. A great post by RG, Mr. UNORTAP, talk about his statistically. So that thanks so much, RG, sharing this. Is a great. I think this is you don't do a lot of stuff like that, but we would like you to do this more often, Mr. RG. We really appreciate about this one over there. Stefan Manberg, welcome aboard.
Hey, Stefan.
Krejci, what do you think about this one over there?
Again, very good. I think that his was just 1 million, right? If I'm not mistaken.
1 million, yeah.
1 million. I mean, I'm not expecting, the Krejci of past or in his prime, but he definitely solidifies the center position. He will help in all aspects, especially that second line, which last year was a bit questionable. Once you got through that, you defended the first line of Boston. There wasn't a lot there to go on. But this gives you a lot more flexibility. I think he also has the respect of many of the players. They all know him. He's going to be a definite added welcome addition to the Boston Bruins.
Definitely about that one over there for sure. Let's move on talking about the last one of the Boston Bruins, Pablo Zaka. 1 year deal at 3.5. We know he been with New Jersey Devil, 25 years old. Signed a contract at 3.5. He have a 36 point last season with 15 goals, 70 game. Zaka, I think, bring a lot on the center line. He's a big guy, 6'3". So it'll be interesting to see him for sure.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much in my eyes.
Yeah,
but close to that. Maybe I was expecting more in the like high twos, like 2.75 maybe, or for what he offers. I don't think he's ever really had a breakout year. The most he's ever gotten, I think, is around the 30 points or something.
Oh, I think he did a little bit more, but
oh, did he? Yeah,
I think so too. I think 1 year was close to 50, Mr. Untitled, like the year, like 2 years ago.
With New Jersey?
Yeah. I can get right now. No, I'm wrong. Well, yeah, it's because he had 35 points and 50 games. So they gave him about 50 points.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's one reason I remember that one there. So, yeah, it will be interesting
but
to see that.
He'll help.
That will be interesting to see that for sure. Let's move on now for the big contract here, 5 years by Nicolas Roy. Vegas Golden Knight. You talk about Zaka. I think they are the same level at the point where I'm talking about the physicality. The size, Roy is a big 6'4", and I think he could be a good asset for Vegas Golden Knight. Honestly, it was not the same Roy. I click on the here we go. 6'4", 225. So he has like 15 goals, maybe his best season last season in NHL. So they expect him to play that level, third center, mission or tap. And I don't know what you think about it. That's contract he got 5 years at $3 million. I think that's pretty good overall.
Yeah, that's about fair for him.
I think so too. I think that's a good way.
A bit of a ceiling for him.
Yep. And finalize the last one before we jumping on the other overrated. Lawson Cruz signed a 5 years contract for them, and that would be gave them a great asset for that. What do you think about that performance?
I guess Arizona's getting to the point now where they have to evaluate their talent and see who fits into their future plans. With Cruz, I mean, he had a good breakout year last year. I thought he was solid until a little bit later when he got injured, obviously. And if he continues at that rate, then it's worth it. I mean, They have the money right now. I don't think they over paid for him.
Right now, possible 1 year at the beginning, right? But if he scored 25 goals, if he continues to increasing more his point, Mr. Untitled, I think that's a great. He's only 25. He's only 25 years old. So
that's right.
I think a long term that'll be a good set. Like David said, of course, is so underrated. It's a big 6'7", Mr. Untitled. So that gives you an idea what he look like. Everything that. So that's conclude all the news around the league, Mr. Untitled. Tonight, when we talked a little bit earlier, I don't know about that one over there, but I was talking about the most overrated NHL players in NHL. Mr. Natab. We have a couple of people already in the chat talking about this. Unfortunately, we cannot follow what they said. And we'll go to that because, at the same time, we try to keep what we have to go to the program today. But we're going to go with the letter Q so we can follow up what they have as a question. And if it's about the subject under overrated, we're going to talk about this. And any other question we can answer after we finish with under overrated about that one over there. Run underrated or as an answer fan base. You can go any location about this one there. Just last video about Ahmed save sorry cap. Why you buy out the players? Okay, we're going to stay in the subject of the under and overrated. If not, we go completely out subject and we try to kill that direction.
We never do that.
Okay, we can go there a little bit later about this one over there. William McCleary talk about, Coach, is it true Boston 1 and 2 line center Bergeron Krejci will earn $3 million combined, sorry, again, the cap after bonus, sir? You're absolutely right about this one, William. They have a 3.5 million AAV before the bonus at the end of the day, and that's what they're going to carry on during the full year, Mr. William. We have to move on. The Ottawa Senator trade the Shea Corey. We're not going to get there. Overrated, right? Underrated, Carl now. Could you see Claude Legeroux? Corey will stay on the underrated. Bobby said, "What about McCall? Underrated or overrated?"
I still think he's underrated. I mean, this guy, we haven't seen his top potential yet, and I get the sneaky suspicion that for the next 5 or 6 years, we definitely will.
Yep, so right about this. I think they are underrated. And because the story he has, everything number one big defenseman, maybe the top 5 best players in NHL. So I think for me, he's underrated for sure. Marco said that we knew it was going to happen, but now they have it. Saint Bergeron Krejci, do you think they bombs them over the center Ottawa or not?
It'll be close, a lot closer than what we thought yesterday, Marco. I mean, I'm still worried about the long-term injuries that they have until November, probably, because that could take you potentially out of it. And we saw that even like with the Islanders, with the bad start that they had last year, even though they improved as the season went along, they were never able to make up that difference in games that they had lost earlier on. So it'll be close.
Yeah, absolutely right about this one. I think now the race is more at 3 teams for spot number 4. I'm talking about Boston, Ottawa, and the Detroit Red Wings. I think they are really the 3 looking for that spot number 4. I think Buffalo is a bit behind, not far. If the goaltender, Mr. Natap, or the goaltending of the Buffalo can hang in there, that will make that team a bit closer to them.
Yeah,
but maybe, a run, but maybe all the way. I think they will fall apart at some point. Of course, the Montreal shut down that division over there. William Bennett have a question. Eric Carlson, sorry about that, Mr. Natap is coming. Just have a pace of 17 goals, 58 points. It's definitely not worth his contract, but at this point in his career, is it a bit underrated?
At this point in his career, I think he's overrated, given the amount of money he's making. I guess if we look at it long term and say where he came from when he was in his prime, especially when he first went over to San Jose from Ottawa, I would have said he was underrated. But I think right now at this point he's more of an anchor than a help.
Yep, for me, he's overrated, honestly, for that one over there. Can I start with that question? I like those. I think Zaro is underrated.
100%, yeah.
100%. He's right there in the middle of the picture, Mr. Natap, and that's the reason why I put him there, because I believe he's underrated as an NHL player, for sure. She talk about now the rupee hands.
Agreed. Yeah, very underrated as well. This guy's magic. He's really a skilled player. Very intelligent, knows how to get the best out of his line mates as well. So yeah, I would definitely say he's underrated.
underrated, Mr. Notap. He really, we talked earlier about Patrice Bergeron. I think he's a prototype of Patrice Bergeron 2.0 as an overall. Great on defensive, great on offensive, 72 points last season with them. He has like 37 goals. Number one center is the catalyzer with Pavelski and Robinson at that line over there. I think he's underrated for me for the Dallas Star.
Yeah.
Bobby asked, Zed Jones, over or underrated?
Over, especially given the amount of money he's making. I don't want to say he's a horrible defenseman or anything like that, because I think he's still very good and he can log a lot of ice time. But given the amount of money he's paid, he's definitely not producing.
Yeah. You know, it's sad because I think with a great team, he can be a great hockey player. Did not do well 2 years ago when Columbus traded him after that. He have a great start with Chicago Blackhawks. Like the team, have a great start at the beginning of the year last season. Mr. Nota, the first 2 months, Chicago was hanging there. They were performing very better, and then they shut down everything. Then he disappear with the Chicago Blackhawks. He's overrated. Great question, Bobby. Mr. Eor. Sorry, Eor, we're not welcome in the house, but we don't answer the question, guys. We're still in the topic. And then after the topic, we're going to go to your question. If not, it's like it's getting left and right. We have no complaining. We got like 1,700 complaining last night, and it was too many. We did not read all of them, but we appreciate your comments all the time. Zed Jones underrated, Marco, he said.
He's underrated.
Overrated. No, I think it's a question. Yeah. So.
Oh no, I think he's answering it.
Really?
I don't see a question mark at the end. So
yeah,
I'm thinking Marco's giving us his opinion.
Super overrated, Jimmy Vesey.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, so much was expected at some point, and he definitely, you know what, he definitely had the skill set, but it just didn't seem to materialize once he was in the NHL and got bounced around from team to team.
Yeah, it's another one, right? You have many Jimmy Vesey. First of all, it was a project on the NCAA. It was drafted in Nashville, third round, never signed with them. And he became a free agent. The New York Rangers get him at the beginning. Since that, Mr. Nortap, he went to the Buffalo. He went to the Toronto. He went to Vancouver. He went to New Jersey Devils. And he has, at the beginning of his career, 17 goals. And after that, he disappeared on the map for the last 6 years. So overrated for me about him. Oh, Bobby, you nail it now. Now I love when you talk like that. Zach White Cloud, Mr. Nortap. What do you think about White Cloud? Adam loved White Cloud.
You know what? I agree with you, Bobby. I think he is a little bit underrated. I wouldn't say by a lot, but definitely he offers a lot more to the team than people think. His overall analytics are actually quite good.
So again?
His overall analytics are actually quite good.
Revenue subscriber, first of the Thailand. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Thanks to be with us tonight. H. Bar. Already, my name is all around the map in Thailand, Mr. Natap.
They're waiting for you, Coach.
I've been honest with you, Mr. Natap. How many goals do you think White Cloud got last year?
I don't know. I'd be guessing. I'm not sure.
If I said to you 8, are you believing?
I was going to say 7. Because I think most of them were early in the year, though.
He have 8 goals and only 60 games.
Yeah.
That gave him a double digit for a player never been drafted in NHL, 25 years old. BMG State University. That's a Division 3 over there.
Yeah.
He signed a long contract, by the way, at $2.something million for him. Been on the third pairing because with all the injury, he picked it up over there, Mr. Untitled, and he become. I love this kid, honestly. Great question about this.
Great size.
Absolutely right. He's as big 6'2", and he's a right defenseman, so that's pretty rare if it done like that. Marco said Nylander underrated.
I would agree, Marco. I mean, especially initially, we thought that the contract that he was getting was way over his ability, but I mean, if he could somehow improve his defensive game a little bit, but offensively, I mean, this guy's always a game breaker. He's got great speed. Works well on that second line. I think he's underrated.
You're absolutely right about this, Mr. Untitled. I think he is. I think he, with other team, Mr. Untitled, he can score 40 goals.
Probably.
Because he play on the second unit, right? So on the second line. So I don't said, but I think overall he's really, I agree with you about this one over there. Pierre-Martin, Husso underrated.
That's a tough one because we don't have much of a
you nailed it.
A working
that
sample.
Way. Continue, yeah.
That's the hard part. So I mean, based on last year, he's probably underrated, but we'll have to wait and see if he can sustain that.
Do you know the story about him in Bennington?
What's that?
So remember, like Jake Allen was there with Elliott, the year they won the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
So both of them was on the American Hockey League, Husso and Bennington. Husso was the next prospect goaltender behind Elliott and Brent and Allen. Now one of them got hurt, so they go to the American Hockey League. The night they play the game, it's Husso is in the net. He got hurt, so they have to call back Jordan Bennington. And the story, he won the Stanley Cup of that one over there. That's funny. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you never know, right? Because if he's not hurt, it's not Bennington, it's Husso.
It's Husso, right? And that's why you have to make the best of your opportunities when they come up, because you just never know.
Exactly about this one over there. David, Aaron Ekblad underrated. That first of all, defenseman can need some time to become a defenseman number one.
I think he's underrated. I really like his play. He's solid on both ends. He even plays a little bit of a physical game as well. He plays on specialty teams. Like, this guy can do it all.
You're absolutely right. Underrated, Mr. Untitled. I saw him. I was teaching in the morning at the South Florida at the rink facility for the Panthers every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about July, August. I'm not talking about September. And every morning he was there on the ice, practicing and skating with Anthony. Anthony, oh my God, he's an Italian guy. He was a big fighter for the Drummondville Voltigeurs. Anthony jeez, I forget his last name. Anyway, and he became a skill development coach. He's really well known here in South Florida. And every morning he was with Ekblad every morning. And like crazy stuff, like only inside edge, outside edge, like not great, but the details of the turning, everything like that.
Yeah.
I always been impressed by Aaron Ekblad, the work he put to become who he is. And he paid off for the last 2 years. Obviously, the injuries put him down a little bit. But great question, David. Here we go.
Yeah.
Ready, catch up. Overrated.
Dang.
No.
It's borderline. I still don't think he's achieved what he can achieve. But like I guess based on what he's produced, I think there's more talk about him than there should be.
So when you talk about this, what you say he did not reach his full well, why he did not reach?
Well, because I think with Brady, like this guy should be he should be close. I know he's behind Matthew Kachuk by 3 years or so, but I mean he should be achieving much better results than he has so far. And for him to be making what is it, 9 million, 9.5 million, he hasn't reached that kind of potential. That's the only thing I'm saying. I like him. I like him a lot. I wish, like I said, I wish Montreal had drafted him instead of Kokaniemi. But and I like what he brings to the game that are intangibles. But I think his offensive contributions has to increase a little bit more.
So you have almost the same salary as Azuski.
Right.
All right. Who has more points last year, Azuski or him?
I think they were close. Like I think maybe Kachuk had a little bit more, but
Yeah, 67.
67. But look at his years before that, right?
Yeah,
Now, if
30
he keeps
goals.
increasing at this rate, he's definitely going to be underrated. Yeah, I'm just
He
saying
is
based right
he is
now.
underrated. He have better number, Mr. Notap, as his brother Matthews for the first 4 years in NHL.
In the first 4 years, yeah.
Yep. Matthew, the first 4 years, he has like 13 goal, 24, and then he got 34, but he dropped at 23 and 16 until he become the one really last season, the 100 point, right? And if you think about Kachuk, yeah, 22, 21, and the 17 goal, Mr. Notap, and 56 game. So that gave him about 25 goal. And every year he's increasing his point and his goal at the end. For the first 4 years, he had more point at his brother.
Okay. Yeah, because I think Matthew Kachuk had to really transform his game a little bit. The first few years, he was drawing a lot of penalties. He was more in the penalty box than anything else. I think he was.
For me,
more,
Kachuk, he checked more box in my head as a hockey player, like only point.
Brady.
Right? The forechecker, the power stronger. He can fight. He can become the players, everybody put people around him bigger and stronger. That's why for me he's underrated.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was just putting it in perspective.
Oh, you put him
where he is
underrated
now.
already. It's just like me. I tried to
Yeah.
make you a little bit more underrated. Yeah, you're right. So, but you know, I know you consider him underrated, so I can understand that one of that. Talking about underrated, we're not talking about Carter Hart overrated.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one, Marco.
If it was Michael DeLanery, he would say no, he's
No.
not.
With the exception of 1 year, man, his stats really haven't warranted an underrated classification. But having said that, we also have to look at the team he's with and the defense that he has in front of him. So I'm gonna venture to say he's still underrated because I think he has much better ceiling than what he's showing right now. If at one point we were considering him as our third goalie on Team Canada for the Olympics, I mean, many good minds can't be wrong about that.
First 2 great season at the beginning, and then he followed what the team looked like, and he had a really bad year. That last year, the year before, it was so bad for him, like personally
Yeah.
as the players. And then for me, he's overrated right now at that moment.
Well, last year he rebounded a little bit.
He's
and then
still
he
at
got
3.16, but you have to go with the
That's
team,
right.
right? He rebound
Yeah.
for sure. He for sure. But still, for me, is underrated because the expectation was high for him after he had 2 great years, starting with a playoff at the bubble when they eliminate Montreal Canadiens second round. Velmeka, underrated.
Agreed.
Another one we do not see enough from him, right? But play with Arizona last year, he have a good year overall. But
Yeah, I mean, he single-handedly won at least 7 or 8 games for them last year.
the second thing I would say is he's older, right? 28 years old. So he's not his prime is about that one there. Michael Vivela, fucking dream is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. First super chat of the night. Michael Vivela, welcome back. Reverse. Chop, chop, chop. On fire, Mr. ENORTAP, for this one because we did not do a lot recently, and we have to give him, Mr. ENORTAP, some hype. If I can reach it, we got some fire first of all, Mr. ENORTAP, and then we got some hype about this. And it's funny thing, Mr. ENORTAP, I shifting everything on my software. So I work on the chat on my right now. I work with the graphic on my left. And I click on the, sometime I'm wrong when I click on the left side. So I'm behind a little bit, but it's all right. It's okay. I should do this earlier about this one. Then we have to tell him.
Thank you very much. Nice.
And by the way, Michael, I think he said Andy Sutton's coming Wednesday or Thursday this week, Mr. ENORTAP.
Awesome.
So we'll see what's happening about him over there. Welcome back. By he said Lafrenière overrated.
Again, I'm gonna say no, but given what he's done so far, like he hasn't really shown a lot. But I'm seeing the growth in him, right? Like at least you've seen some sort of momentum building with him. I think he had a very solid playoff series, and even his regular season was good. I think this guy will be able to really pick up his game. And you got to consider also when he came in with the Rangers, I mean, they took their time with him. And so they had him on the third line, and it took time just to get to the point where if he had been on a team where he's on the first line or second, I think we would have seen better results. So I'm going to go with underrated.
Awesome. We have another super chat, Mr. ENORTAP. Oh my God! Here we go, Marco Larabie, $6.95. Here we go, Marco. Thanks so much for your super chat. Reverse, chop, chop, chop. $6.95. Marco Larabie. Thank you so much. We have to go all the way again, Mr. ENORTAP, for another hype somewhere, somehow. Here we go. We love this one. We love this one. Let's go with that one over there at the beginning, and then we got some hype. Here we go. What do you think about this, Mr. ENORTAP?
Hype. Marco.
Thank you very much.
Here we go. Done over. Lafrenière, all good. Let's move on to the next one over there. I'm not have to answer each one of them. Bobby McGettinuts, Pierre-Luc Dubois, overrated.
Right now he is, but because of his attitude and what he has. But you know what? This guy has all the ingredients. If he really puts his mindset to playing hockey and being the impact player he can be, as we saw in the bubble when they played against Columbus, played against the Leafs, and the job that he did in that playoff series, and even this year, like I thought this year was a bit of a breakout year for him in Winnipeg. I think his ceiling can go a lot higher than what we're seeing statistically. It's that mindset right now that I don't like.
The good news about him, he bounced back last year, so that's good news about that one there.
Yeah.
Blackhawks, Ren Hartman, underrated.
Based on what he did this year, but it took him a while to get to this stage, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd say right now he's underrated. When you put it all together, he's about at the right position. I don't want to commit either way. I want to plead Switzerland on that one.
Mr. ENORTAP, we have another super chat. Roger Delaney, $3.99. Here we go. Let's do it again, Mr. Roger Delaney, super chat, $3.99. Rivers, chop, chop, chop. $3.99, Mr. Roger Delaney, Mr. UNORTAP. What about that one over there?
Roger
That's
the
awesome.
master.
Very much.
Roger
Thank you very
Hype.
much. And
Nice.
of course, it's very nice from you, Mr. Roger Delaney. Some hype for Mr. Roger. We appreciate a lot about this one over there. Alexandre Wood Dubois. Do you think Josh Anderson is under or overrated?
I'm going to say he's overrated. I just get so frustrated sometimes. And I like Josh Anderson. But I just think, given his size and his speed, he should be making more of an impact. And it seems like he picks and chooses his time to be an impactful player. He'll disappear for 2 or 3 games, and then all of a sudden he appears and gives you 2 critical goals in a game. So I'm going to say overrated.
Yeah, absolutely right about this one over there. I like this one. Pierre Martin said Jordan Kyrou.
Again, we haven't seen too much, but I would say he's underrated. I think this guy can do so much more.
Mr. Nota, we have a super chat for the first time. Mr. David Aziabre. He did it again for the first time. Mr. David, super chat. Here we go. Reverse. Chop, chop, chop. $3. David Aziabre. Welcome again. Thanks so much for another super chat, Mr. UNORTAP. That gave us the 4th tonight. We appreciate. Thanks so much about that one over there.
Very much. Nice.
I need a drink, coach.
You need some drink right now because you're getting hot now. Yeah, absolutely right about this one over there. We have a lot, Mr. UNORTAP, so let's move on quickly. Like we do. Chris Letang, underrated or overrated?
Under.
Underrated. Great year for a guy, 35 years old, Mr. UNORTAP, 67 points, 68 points. Really solid defenseman. He's still going to do it at that one over there. And easy one for you, Mr. UNORTAP. Huberdeau, overrated or underrated?
Oh, do I have to answer this, Marco?
Underrated for you. And how many points you expect him next year?
I think it's going to go down. I don't think he hits 100. I think he'll be somewhere in the 90s.
King of Gamer, Carey Price.
Over his career, I would say underrated, but given the last couple of years, that's kind of put him off the map as overrated.
Absolutely right about this one over there. Honestly, guy, I don't know if what's going on in the chat. I'm not there at all, so hopefully you have a great time, people, because I don't know what's going on. If you say hi to me, hi, because I don't see. I'm only under question tonight because we have a lot of questions, so the moderator follow everything over there. So we appreciate each one of you about that one. About Larkin, under or over? How to say is good on the bad team, but not elite, Alexandre Maillard.
I would say he's underrated. I like Larkin's play, to be honest with you. And I think we saw a bit of a breakout last year or a return anyways to a couple years ago, because I know he had an off year the year before. But I would say he's underrated.
You're absolutely right. 23, 17, 16, 32, 19. Yeah. And then a lot of players, Mr. UNORTAP, at the COVID one, the 2021, right? A lot of players drop. Like they really drop. He played only 44 game. He still have 23 points. That's give him about 50 points around where usually he make a little bit more. But last year he bounced back very well, 69 points, 79 games. I gave him almost like 0.96 point average per game. Underrated in my book. Captain of the team, I believe, and great leader. He's going to get better. He's reached his full potential. Brent, 26 years old for the upcoming year. About that one.
And he's got talent now on the team, so that'll help his production.
Matthew Tkachuk, overrated or underrated?
No, I don't think he's overrated. I think this guy brings a lot to the game. I would probably say slightly underrated.
Great point about this. What about Zezev, a defenseman for Ottawa Senator, contract at $4.5 million?
I'm trying to think of some of his numbers from last
Overrated.
couple years. You think? I'm sort of leaning that way too.
It was the one who was draft from. It was a trade by the Toronto Maple Leaf,
Yeah, let me check some of his
right? So,
stats.
like the way they use him is not great, and he's never been reached his full
Yeah.
potential with them. He played almost like third pairing over there now for the them. So for me, he's overrated.
He's
for
a
him.
career. He's a career -40 as well. So
Yep. Bobby, easy one here. Pasternak.
I don't think he's overrated at all. I think I agree with you, Bobby. I think he's underrated. This guy can
Absolutely.
score. He's a prolific scorer. And you know what? He brings a bit of an edge to the game as well, which is needed. He's not like a wimp, like he's a tough player.
Yep, another turned 26 years old. So he's been in NHL, Mr. Untitled, the last 6 years. 34, 35, 38, 48, 20 and 48, and 40 last season. Second time he reached a 40 goal. 37.95, 81, 81. Underrated.
Eh,
Almost 6 point something salary cap.
yeah, I agree.
Oh, this one, I like that one. Mckenzie Wigar.
I think he is a little bit overrated, but slightly. He does. If he's played in the right position, he's okay. If
On the
he's
right
gonna
chair,
play-
second pairing, that would be perfect for him.
right, yeah, exactly. If he's played on the first chair, forget it.
Mikko Rantanen, over or under?
Under. I love this guy.
Yeah,
Great
absolutely right.
skater.
Okposo, underrated, scored 20 goals last year on the third four line.
Yeah, last year, but unfortunately, he's always been hit with a lot of injuries. He's missed a lot of games, and he hasn't always been consistent. So, I think he's a little bit overrated in my eyes.
Yes, overrated. I will tell you why. First of all, he's still $6 million per year, his contract.
Yeah.
Now, he played well for the 33, 34 years old last year, reached 21 goals. I got it. But prior to that, Mr. Untitled, 2, 9, 14, 15, 19, 22, 18, 27, and 24. You have to go back almost like 6 years ago, before he reached the 20 goal compared last season. For me, it was overrated in my book. Whatsoever, he had a great year last season. And he played, I'll be honest with you, surprisingly, Alexandre, he played almost like a second line. He played almost 17 minutes per game, Mr. Untitled.
Yeah.
So, Kelly, Zach Hyman, underrated.
Yes.
Absolutely about that, Kelly. And 5.7 is a good contract, 5.5. Farrell Amagus, welcome back in the house. Elias Lindholm, Vesey, underrated, is underrated too.
Yes. Agreed.
Welcome aboard, Farrell. Yeah, absolutely right. On any level, any expect, Mr. Untitled, it could be on the Selke Trophy nomination in my book. He has 40 goals this season. You can tell Goudreau and Kachuk, but for me, he was really the Bergeron on my eyes.
That line.
Underrated. I love these players. And this is the one that got trade Carolina they gave for Doug Hamilton. Imagine if they have Lindholm as a center over there.
Exactly.
Arturi Lehkonen, underrated.
Yes.
He's not overrated, but he's not like underrated like you think he is.
Yeah, not a lot. Yeah, but he tends to get big goals, and I just love his work ethic. He's so responsible on both ends of the ice, and such a great team player. You want him on your team.
Yeah. I understand. It's just for me, it's for bottom six. He reaches 12 goals per year. He did very well this year. But before that, you have to go all the way 5 years ago to get his best year in NHL with 18 goals. So that's the reason why I said that, like, I don't say he's overrated, but he's not, like, underrated, like, because you have only that year with Colorado. So this year will be really interesting, Mr. ENORTAP, what he looked like. Do you base your overrated, underrated answer on contract size?
I try to bring that into consideration as well, King, because the amount of money administered to a player is usually based on where you think his potential lies. And so if they haven't reached that, that contributes to how we rank him.
It's a one factors.
Yeah.
You have other things, performance overall, where is inside the team. Is a second center, first center, or I'm talking about the first top six, bottom six, or that's one other factor I'm looking all the time. Bobby, Barkov underrated.
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely he is. I think he's not recognized enough by the peers in NHL.
He's forgotten a lot of times because of all the quiet things he does that are positive for the team.
Neil Pionk.
I think he is. Not a lot, but I think he is.
For me, he's overrated.
Over, you think?
Oh, yeah. He never reached his full potential. He was involved with a trade for Trumpa.
Yeah, he was.
All right, and he have a 34 point last year, only 3 goals, 31 assists. So I can give it to him about assists, but he has like 11 of the 31 assists. He came on power play, 34, 35. But if you compare to him, we have his best year like 3 years ago, 45. Then was 26-14. For me, for what he was supposed to be in NHL, I still believe like the expectation for the Winnipeg Jets was better. So a little bit overrated on my book. Not like a lot, but a little bit.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Pierre Martin, Marc-André Fleury, way overrated.
I'm not going to say way overrated, but I will say he's slightly overrated. I think we make more out of him than what he is. And I just think back, I know he's won a couple cups, but I think most any goalie that played with the team Pittsburgh had would have won those cups in net. Does he play well? Yes, he does. But he has this nasty habit that at some critical times, he gives up a very cheap goal that breaks their back. And we saw it against Montreal as well when he was with Vegas and Anderson scored that easy goal. And that wasn't the only one. He does it frequently.
For me, I'll be honest with you, I go neutral. Like I think he got what he deserved. Is like he's not overrated, he's not underrated. He's really right where he's supposed to be in my eyes.
Yeah. Okay, I can accept that.
That's what I feel is this way. Right? He's not, of course, for me, underrated. For sure. Bobby, on that one over there, I think not I will go to tell him exactly, but we'll see.
Again, we don't have much of a sample space. Really, we can't even say we have a full year of Cole Caulfield to rank him.
Yeah, not good enough to see that yet. Pierre Martin, Andy, underrated except and FRENCHY quiz overrated.
Sounds good, Pierre.
Marco Larrabee, Primo, overrated.
So far. I think so much has been
completely disagree with both of you.
I just think so much has been made of him taking over for Carey Price, and he quite hasn't shown that yet. I mean, he had a good year in Laval this year, but it was mostly the second half and going into the playoffs. And I do know goalies develop at a later age. But I haven't seen.
Yeah, but Mr. ENORTAP is 236 overall pick in NHL draft. What are your expectations for him to be the next best goaltender in NHL?
Well, that's what a lot of people were saying. He said,
who said that?
The the next reign to Carey Price.
I know, but because he have a good year in the NCAA Northwestern. But if you look about what he was picked and what he accomplished, he is not overrated. It's just normal, a 7th-round pick. The last pick on the draft, he played that way easy right now. That the expectation, it was not. I never see him like a goaltender in NHL.
No, we haven't. That's why I think he's overrated.
I know,
Like,
because
he
he's
has-
not overrated because he's a 7th-round pick. So he has nothing to lose. He's not supposed to be in NHL. He's not supposed to be perform way easy. I don't say he's underrated, but to say he's overrated, it's not true. He's a 7th-round pick, 236. So for me, he's not overrated. It's just follow what he can. If I have an opportunity one day to play in NHL, it's a bonus. He's not a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick. He's the last of the last. So for me, I can just consider him as an overrated. Now, if the media, if the fans, if the people put him under who he is, that's a problem for them. But for me, if you look about him, I don't see that because he's a 7th-round pick, 230, whatever he was. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. I just think if you don't make the NHL, I don't know. How can you say he's underrated? I don't see that.
For me,
But
I don't see that one over there. But it's all good. Claude Giroux, overrated or underrated?
I think he's underrated. Like, this guy consistently puts up great numbers every year, and I think Ottawa's lucky to have him this year. I think he's going to bring the leadership that they need, but he'll also bring the points. He's got a gritty side to him, no pun intended. I've always liked this play, always.
I don't say he's like Bergeron overall, but he's a kind of classy, professional hockey player, delivery, consistency, Team Canada, everything like that. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So I agree with you about that one there. If another going to be overrated from last week performance and Frenchy quiz,
Yes, probably, Pierre.
that's a good one. If Drouin and Hoffman overrated,
Andrew, you had to go there, right? Between you and Marco with those two players. Yeah, you're right now. They're both overrated in my eyes.
I will skip this question. Pierre Martin, Pacioretty, way overrated.
His stats don't warrant a way overrated. I'm gonna sit on the fence on that one.
Now, here's
I
what
think
happened,
his
Mr.
stats
Notap.
are good.
All right?
You can't dispute his stats.
That's starting 12 years ago.
Yeah,
28 goals, 33,
yeah.
24, 39, 37, 30, 35, 17 and 64. That gave him over 20 goals. 22 and 66. That gave him 25. 32, 24 and 48. And then last year, 19 and 39.
There you go. Like, the stats don't lie, right? That's why, if anything, he's what could make him overrated is the kind of person he exhibits. The lackadaisical attitude sometimes that.
So here's a prototype of player pissed fans at the end of the day. When I said that, no emotion, no feeling.
Yeah.
He showed like no passion about the around him, and that's it. That's what he is. And this is maybe crazy when I compare him, but it reminds me a lot. But I think he was smarter. But it reminds me a lot Peter Sampras. So Peter Sampras was the #1 mondial tennis for years, right? And then you have Andre Agassi, or John McEnroe, where they will go all over at the top of the building, come back and forth, take up the T-shirt, screaming about everything. The Tortorella McEnroe in tennis, right? Then yeah, Peters and Brad said, okay, are you done now? I'm ready to play tennis. I beat you. I get my money, go back home, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's what specialty it is for me. Like, all right, are you done with your question? Time to go home. Like, win or lose, you don't know what's the. He had no passion. That's kind of like I said. He's the kind of guy perform underrated me, but pissed me off because he had no kind of excitement inside of him.
Yeah, I gotta say to that point, Coach, I agree with you 100%. And I don't know if there's any relationship to this or not, but what I noticed when he was first in the NHL, when he first came up from Montreal, he did show some emotions. It wasn't until, remember when Chara put him through that stanchion that knocked him out cold? Ever since then, I have not seen much emotion from him. He doesn't get into the corners as much. There's a bit of fear, maybe. I don't know if I would use that word, but he's just not the same player. Because initially he was a good hitter, would get in front of the net and score quite a bit. Again, I don't know if there's any correlation between that time, but
Yeah, possible.
observation.
Bobby, after me, Panarin, over or under? That's a tough one, this one.
You know what? I'm gonna say he's slightly overrated. I didn't like his playoffs last year. I don't think the Rangers were very happy with that. Sometimes he tends to disappear for periods of time.
But again, Mr. Notap, 96
His
points last
stats,
year.
I know.
Like,
I know what you're gonna say.
like the last 5 years, he delivered 1 point per game
I
and
know.
more.
I know. And you can't.
I don't
dispute
think
that.
he's overrated, but I don't think so. He's underrated. I would send the troll like Marc-André Fleury. He deserves the money and he delivers what he does. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Puck, Mark Sheffley, under or overrated?
Again, his attitude is what kills me sometimes, because this guy, I just don't like the way he plays the game. I used to think he was a classier guy, and nothing to do with the fact that he did what he did to Jake Evans in the playoffs and didn't seem to have any sort of remorse and thought he was in the right. But even this year, the way he's handling things, but statistically, he's there. Like
1 point per game the last 6
Yeah.
years, Mr. Notap.
yeah, and you can't dispute that.
I
But
would
is
say
it the kind of guy
it's
you want
boring
on
and
your
so, Mr. Notap, I send the troll.
Yeah, I would.
I would say to you more underrated, but that his behavior or his the way we
Cockiness
hear about his
is-
locker room problem, everything like that and everything, I will go more neutral, but I would slightly go underrated if he was not his outside the zone. Tyler Myers, underrated. John Tidor, welcome aboard. By the way, John, thanks to be with us tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Oh, sorry, underrated. No. Overrated.
I'm not
I
agree.
would put him at a overrated.
I'm not agree with that one. Overrated.
Yeah, he's overrated. I thought-
One goal last
I
year,
thought he
Mr.
had
Natap, last season. 6'6", 9'6". He make over $7 million. He's supposed to be your top 2 best defenseman. I understand
Yeah.
his role. Play 22 minutes per game. But for me, he's a little bit underrated. Not big,
And
but
given his size, he should be making more of an impact.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Tyson Barrie, under or overrated?
He is what he is, right? He's defensively, he's horrific. Offensively, he's okay. He's very good, actually, especially on the power play. Can quarterback it. I would say he is slightly overrated.
You nail it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Alexandre Dubois said, Romanov underrated.
I think he will be. Right now, I don't think he is, but I think he will be a little bit underrated.
right now is a little bit, for me, is a little bit overrated.
Yeah.
The expectation was a little bit higher for me as an offensive player. And he never played constancy defensive zone coverage yet. He's still young. He could become a better player in the future. But right now, a little bit slightly overrated.
I think he's on the right team now that stresses defense. And as long as he's on that 3-4 or on the second line or second line of defense, he'll be solid.
Christian Dvorak, under or overrated?
I mean, he's been consistent with what he's produced over the years, whether regardless what team he's been on. So I would say neutral for that.
I was a little bit slightly underrated because what he did with Arizona was pretty great for me with that team. Good on power play, great on face-off, maybe one of the top best center top 10, right? And he produced 17 points with 21 with Montreal, where he saved his season. I would say slightly underrated. Slightly. $4.5 million. He still doesn't have enough point productivity. But he does other things in the game. The details of the game make him good. But I agree with you. But he's a Nick. Drouin and Hoffman overrated coach and ENORTAP. Andrew? Over.
Over.
Pike, he said Larkin is not a number one center.
That's okay. That shouldn't necessarily affect his ranking as over or underrated. I think even if he's second line, he's underrated in my eyes.
Tyler Bertuzzi, underrated or overrated?
I think he's slightly underrated.
Yeah. Corey Hill, Philip Forsberg. Why are you waiting like that?
No, because sometimes
underrated by mile.
I wouldn't say a mile, but
he dominated the NHL left winger as a scorer.
As a scorer, yes.
And he's not a bad defenseman, by the way. On defensive zone, he's not bad, Mr. ENORTAP.
No. I don't know. Sometimes I've seen him disappear a little bit. But, yeah, I'm not going to disagree.
David, Troy Terry, overrated. Cut that 20% shooting percentage after he has 18 goals.
Yeah, I would say overrated.
Now, I will say to you, David, right about this. I will say I will wait because he was really his first year, David. Troy Terry have a good year overall. He took about 7 years before he reached that kind of year. This year will tell us exactly what kind of player he can become, David. But you're absolutely right about this. It reminds me a little bit Pitlick with Montreal, 17.7%. Ron, Adrien Kemp, Mr. ENORTAP.
Underrated. I like this guy. He always goes to the difficult areas.
Now, it's another player, Mr. ENORTAP, reached his first time at 35 goals, like a Major Penny. Now, of course, you have to consider him underrated. When I want to see him now is next year. What he's going to do. Can he repeat 25 goals minimum? So I guess the Q only works for some, Andrew. You're absolutely right about that one there. When you put Drouin in the equation, we get nervous here inside the Hockey Nation Live show. Wigar is underrated.
Who?
Wigar.
He's underrated. I would always put him on that category. This guy, what he's accomplished at his age, up to
Pierre-Martin, Kevin Fiala.
Underrated.
Slightly underrated, yeah.
Yeah.
Panarin, Andy Vivela, welcome aboard. Overrated.
Yeah, we went through Panarin. I think we settled on neutral or slightly.
Yeah. All-time underrated, Ron Francis.
Underrated, yes, I agree 100%.
Definitely about that one there. Pierre-Martin, coach,
Ron.
how much money does Wigar asking?
He's retired.
I don't know. What?
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm not
He's
sure.
done.
Thomas Shabbat. Shobot. Autocorrect, Mr. Natap.
Shabbat, yeah.
Overrated or underrated?
Look, when I saw this guy in the juniors, I saw a Cale Makar kind of player. I'll be honest with you. I thought this guy, he can skate, he can do everything, he can shoot. He hasn't quite lived to that expectation yet, but I think as he gets some help on defense, some solid help, and he will, we're going to see him rise a little bit. But right now, he's probably a little bit overrated.
I would say neutral for him. Yeah. Injury was his biggest problem for the last 2 years. Neutral for me. Darcy Quimper.
Yeah, the injuries always figure into this. I would agree, maybe Zenith.
Slightly underrated.
Slightly underrated, yeah.
Kadri would be overrated and another team.
Yeah, if you're expecting the kind of year he produced this year, I would agree with that.
Depend what shirt he was going to wear.
Yeah.
Question, Lawson Cruz, under or over?
Neutral.
Slightly underrated. Mika Zibanejad.
Under.
I agree. Oh, Bobby, a good one. Jesse Puljujevi.
Oh, yeah. Overrated in my eyes. I know you're not going to agree, but...
Jose said, please add a Q or coach won't see you. You're absolutely right. I have no clue what's going on. Maybe you have a fire in the message, Mr. Nota. I have no clue. Hopefully someone put some water on it. I have no clue what they talk about. And sometimes it's good. I don't need to see what they don't talk about hockey. Nishukin, overrated after last season.
I mean, he had such a great year, Marco. I really liked what I saw this year, and this is what I think many people were expecting from him in previous years. So I'm going to say slightly underrated if he continues in this fashion.
Okay. If slightly overrated.
Yeah.
He never reached his full potential. I think he was an 11 overall pick. Struggled with Minnesota. Went to Dallas, almost like a waiver, and then he struggled over there. Reached a couple of, and then Dallas, honestly, Colorado was his first year. This year, have that kind at 27 years old. For me, it's a little bit slightly overrated.
Gotcha.
It's okay. You don't have to be agree with me. Jimmy Ben, overrated.
No. I mean, now he is, but taking over his entire career, this guy was a dominant player at some point. And I still think he has something to contribute, even though his game has gone a little bit AWOL. Underrated
for me. The last 4 years never reached his same kind of players for the money he got, honestly. I believe, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm worried about he become another Milan Lucic. Like, $8 million never been the player he was before, and the mileage he got, and he would never be that kind of 20 goals per year. He did not score 20 goals for the last 3 years, Mr. Notap. He never passed. This year, 46 points is his first time for the last 4 years.
Yeah, but he's had some injuries. And
$8.5 million. So for me, he's overrated.
Yeah, given the money he's making, I would agree with that.
Over, Bo Orvat. John Titor.
I'm going to say neutral on him. I still, the verdict is out on Bo Horvat for me.
I go slightly under. I will tell you what: 20, 22, 30, 27, 22, 24, and 31, Mr. Nota.
And most of those are on the power play.
You have a lot on power play for sure, but
Yeah.
that's who he is, right? So for me, slightly underrated for both of that. Seguin, overrated, Andy.
Again, he's in the same position as Ben. I would say if you consider him over his career, he's probably underrated, but right now he's overrated. But again, Coach, I agree. Like, given the money he's making, he's overrated.
Okay, let's go this way, Mr. Nota.
Yeah.
He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 season with 1 point average.
Yes.
After that, he dropped at 0.8. Then he completely lost last season, like the year, like the COVID, 3 game out. He still have 2 goals in 3 game. And this year, 24 game and 81. So I would say to you, slightly overrated because the money he makes. And he become a center number 2 and number 3. And that's for me is a bit slightly overrated. But I think the people think it's worse. Like I think he's not.
What are his career stats overall?
I'm sorry?
What's his career stats overall?
825 game, you have 300 goal, 305, and 686 point.
Yeah.
I gave him about 0.7, at least 7.8 per. So overall, it's a good about that.
Yeah.
Alexandre Dubois, Joke Arju, over or underrated, was play a lot of time with Sadin on the first pair, but the number are not there.
Yeah. I haven't seen much of him.
He's not overrated, Alexandre, but he's not like underrated. I think he's still young and he get a couple. It's not a guy who's going to give you a lot of point overall, but I think he fit well with Ramis Sadin over there. Vinny, Jack Campbell, under or over?
I think right now he's slightly over.
Rob Hans, underrated. You're absolutely right, Zenit. Luciano Graziano, welcome aboard. Martin St-Louis was underrated as a player. He would probably be underrated as a coach at the Hall of Fame by now.
Yeah.
Charlie Farrell, welcome aboard. Jack Eichel.
Jack Eichel prior to injury? I mean, this guy was pretty much always a point per game on a bad team in Buffalo. Like, I don't know, sometimes maybe it's because of the attitude a little bit, but a lot of people dump on Eichel. I don't see that, to be honest with you.
I go slightly overrated. For the $10 million he bring and the team, slightly overrated for me. Second round pick, and the way
I think we're going to see a very good year out of him this year.
So, yeah, the show will be interesting to see that. Ruta, underrated? Me, it's neutral.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because he seems to be good wherever he goes.
Mike Green, underrated?
Slightly.
Kokenemi.
Over.
Sidney Crosby.
Under.
Do you think Peter Crab will meet this potential or he would be overrated?
I think he will meet his potential. I like his play.
Paul Stastny, overrated?
No. Under.
Robert Leonard, overrated?
Yes, slightly.
Robinson, Dallas, underrated?
Absolutely.
Kaprizov, over or under?
Under.
I agree. Can Virtanen come back to NHL now that he's been found not guilty, under or overrated?
Who's going to take him? That's what you got to ask.
I don't think so. He would be back. But because he never been the player with his expectation, I would say slightly overrated for him. Coach, right now, not past season, Marc-Andre Fleury is way overrated by the media. By opinion, Talbot is better now.
No comment?
Because I was trying to think, okay, because I evaluate him during his career.
Yes, yeah.
Does it make sense?
I think that's fair. That's fair, yeah.
So, Jonathan Bernier, overrated or underrated?
Man, the injuries really killed this guy, but I would say right now he's slightly over.
Slightly overrated for me. He's never been the first round pick for him.
Yeah.
Cal Peterson, underrated or where he should be?
Yes. No, hang on.
Where he should be.
Yeah, I think where he should be.
William Carlson, overrated.
Yes.
Yes.
Slightly.
Yeah. ENORTAP, overrated or underrated?
Overrated, definitely.
Underrated, Corey. Joe Pavelski, underrated or all carry along?
Oh my gosh. Pavelski? He's definitely underrated.
Absolutely, I agree with you about that. I agree, Frank. I put you in front of our coach. Want to see your question. Absolutely right about this. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Tom Wilson, overrated or underrated?
Under.
Underrated, yeah. Question, Tyler Myers, under or over?
I think we did, Tyler.
Yeah,
I
slightly
think
over.
He's over.
Andrei Markov, Razilov, overrated or underrated?
Markov was, I'd say, slightly underrated. Radulov was too inconsistent in my eyes.
All right, Markov, underrated. Razilov, overrated. Put over under today's NHL standard. He still work his paycheck. You talk about Marc-Andre Fleury, right?
Probably.
Sidon, to an under or overrated?
Under.
Under. Picky Subban, over or under?
I'm going to go slightly under.
Slightly over.
Oh, sorry, over. I meant to say over.
Yeah. Ron, Trevor Moore, underrated?
Neutral.
Yeah, good one. Tim Suzla, underrated, overrated?
I think he's under right now.
He's starting there, but
Yeah.
Corey
not
Perry,
yet.
under or overrated?
Over his career and what he's accomplished, I'd say under.
Slightly under.
Yeah.
Panarin overrated because you expect more from him.
Yeah, and he's just soft sometimes. Like I think that's what the complaint this year was by the Ranger coach as well.
I don't think so for me. I think he delivery, like a guy delivery 96 point, play second line. Is maybe the number one player second line with the most point in NHL.
But again, I'm just thinking to this year's playoffs, and I wasn't impressed. I liked what Zibanejad brought, and I liked the young kids line.
But put him with Zibanejad. How many points he got?
I don't know.
More. He played with Rand Strome. That's like you don't put you don't put your best player with the best in center.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I said I think we don't see him the same way, because if you put him on top line, put him with Patrick Kane.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's like everybody complaining about Gallagher last night, but put Gallagher with Philippe Danault and put Gallagher with Laurent Dauphin. It's not make sense to me. He's not going to score 20 goals.
No.
So it's all depends what do you put with and which line he plays. David Perron. That's a great show tonight. I love those stuff like that.
Yeah.
David Perron.
Underrated.
Morgan Riley.
Neutral.
Slightly underrated.
Danny,
everyone
underrated.
named Smith overrated.
Smith. Which Smith? There's two Smiths. Are we talking about the goalie or
I don't know. I
Captain
think
Canada?
he take about the name Smith, but I don't know.
Captain
O'Reilly
Canada
overrated in Buffalo.
in Buffalo. No.
I don't think so.
I think he's always been slightly underrated for what he brings to the game. He's played on the Olympic team.
Buffalo, 21 goal, 20 goal, 24 goal, and Buffalo.
Yeah.
61, 55, 60. 56, 58, 53. Mr. Untitled, face off.
Yeah, exactly.
60 at Buffalo. I don't think so. Underrated.
Yeah.
Is Gabriel Lestagog is the most underrated in NHL.
I don't know about the most in the NHL, but he's definitely underrated. Yeah.
Absolutely right. Josh Norris, underrated or overrated?
Slightly under.
Underrated for me. Ren Smith, underrated.
Riley Smith. Slightly.
I agree with you. Patrick Lane, under or over?
That says O'Reilly.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know.
Patrick Laney. Wow.
Over.
I'm going to say neutral.
Mr. Untitled, again, you put me in the trouble here.
No trouble. I was thinking even over a little bit, but I think the talent
26
there,
goal, 10 goal, Mr. Untitled, 12 goals, 28. You have to go 5-6 years ago before he reached his first 2 years in NHL.
But he had a good year this year, no?
26 goal and 56 game. Yeah, 1 point per game this year. I was just, slightly overrating Mr. Untitled. But we have a super chat, Mr. Untitled. Here we go. Alexandre Meilleur, super chat. 279. Reverse. Chop, chop, chop. Alexandre Meilleur. 279. Alexandre Meilleur. Congratulations, Mr. And thanks so much for your super chat. I'm sorry again?
Thank you very much. Nice.
Yep, hype about that one there. Let's move on to the next one there. Yager said he will come back, want to play. Now, I think it was a joke, Pierre, when you said that. It was talking about players. I don't remember which one. Wayne Gretzky.
Overrated? No.
Underrated. Jonathan Taze, under or over? I would
think
say
it
me
is
slightly under until he got hurt.
Yes. Yeah.
Overrated, Mac Duchene.
Yes. Yes. Agreed, Marco.
Dominic Hachette.
Under.
Mike Bunting.
Under.
Daniel Alfredson.
Under.
Evander Kane.
As a hockey player, under. As a human being, I don't know.
Coach, the fire is out. This Danny piss on it. Here we go. Eric Lindros.
I'm gonna say under.
Trevor Lewis.
That's a good one.
For me, neutral.
Yeah, I would agree.
Robert Thomas.
Under.
Colorado without Lestagal lost 10 game more last season.
I don't know about 10, but yeah, definitely he was missed.
Yeah.
And he wasn't 100% even when he came back.
Flame mascot RV, the on, over, or under?
Over.
Over. It's only Grady and UP under. Mike Madison, under or over?
Neutral.
Slightly over. Zach Werenski, Columbus, underrated.
Yes.
Slightly under, over. He's terrible, Mr. ENORTAP, for the last 3 years.
Okay.
The last 3 years, Mr. ENORTAP, he had
He's
about
still
8.
their quarterback, though.
And
had a good
I'm hard on him. But
I know you are.
my point of view is this. The last 3 years, he's really bad on defensive zone coverage. He produced on point, right? 48 points, 68 game, he 52. I can understand that. But he's your best defenseman. It reminds me, Mr. ENORTAP, how do you qualify Thomas Chabot?
We had Thomas Chabot. We said under.
You said
Slightly
under?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slightly under.
All right. So slightly under. Tyler Hall.
Slightly over.
I agree. RNH.
Same thing. Slightly over.
I agree. Jason Spencer.
Under.
I agree. Dallin, over or under?
Under.
Kolchanak.
Who?
Kovalchuk.
Kovalchuk.
Sorry, Kolchanak.
Oh, Kovalchuk, I loved him when he was playing. I'm going to go under.
I guess Patrice was underrated. I guess Mark Stone was 2.
I'm not seeing the connection there, except that they play on the same line. Stone, I would say, is underrated.
Max Stone is underrated. Clayton Keller.
I'm going to go neutral.
Under by mile. Marty Turco. Under, over.
Under.
I agree.
Slightly.
Question just for Cole. 7 under. Still not as good as they think. Under by mile. Kulak.
Underrated. Under. Slightly.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Murray, over or under?
Slightly over.
I agree. Matt Snipes, underrated.
Yes. Slightly. Slightly. This is killing you, Coach.
Neutral. Thomas Hurdle.
I would say under.
Ovechkin.
Under.
Andrew K. Croft.
Raycroft, slightly over.
Ty Domi.
I'm going to go with under.
Tyler Mutt.
Slightly under.
Shara.
Yeah, underrated.
We get under Gretzky.
Under.
Shane Down.
Shane Doan, under, yes.
Danny Etley.
There's two tails to Danny Heatley. Because of that, I'm going to say neutral.
Slightly
There's
over.
Yeah.
Kevin Chevadev. GM.
Yes, overrated.
Proboski.
Slightly over.
No. Neutral. And I would say because he won the trophy in Vizina twice, it was great. Now, with Florida,
Money.
I think he does exactly what they ask of him. So,
It's just the money that really sticks out like a sore thumb.
Joe Carter, over or under?
Under.
Is it the left winger, the left fielder for the Toronto Blue Jays?
Center fielder. No, actually, you're right. Yeah. He was, I think he was right field.
All right. Gallagher, overrated.
Don't put me in this situation, Ron. Right now, he is. Over his career, I'm going to go neutral.
Slightly underrated. I will tell you why. Until last season, because I reflect this on injuries anyway. He was a four-round pick, 100, whatever it was. And I think during his career with a couple of 2 years, 30 goals, and then maybe 4 for 20 goals, I slightly go overrated. If he was not last year, we said underrated. Tage Thompson.
Under.
Slightly under because he's not there yet, but I agree.
Yeah.
Put Makar and Detroit over or under?
Put Makar on Detroit. Is he?
It would be under.
Yeah, it'll be under, wherever he is.
Jeff Carter, underrated or neutral?
I would say slightly under.
Yeah. Overrated, coach or DeBar?
DeBoer. I'm going to say slightly over.
Le quiz. Under.
Under, definitely.
The best transition team moving the puck on ice. Example, Montreal 32.
I don't think that's enough over or under.
I don't know about this one. Martin Brodeur, over.
No.
Under. Coach, 7 most underrated D on your opinion. I guess yes. You showed a lot of love for him yesterday. You're absolutely right about this, Alexandre. 7 is underrated in NHL. Wendell Clark.
Slightly under.
Jeff Petrie.
I'm going to go slightly under.
Saku Koivu.
Under.
Mikko Koivu.
Under.
Great list we put together, guys. Time for the quiz. Paul Carrier.
Career, under.
Yeah. Usually, Mr. Notap, we should do the NHL fall and through. We're going to skip tonight. We're going to go to the quiz, and then finally KLS said Eiserman, Mr. Notap. What do you think?
Under.
Cam Dalbot.
Neutral.
Good. Now I don't see any one of them. I'm out of the other questions, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, you have an amazing, great show. Mr. Notap, it was great, but it's time for the ENORTAP Frenchy quiz tonight. We'll see if Mr. Notap is going to make this happening tonight.
Oh my God!
I don't think so.
And I apologize, Mr. Notap. I don't have no logo tonight. Completely forgot about that one over there. So tomorrow night is going to have a logo for sure. Tonight, Mr. Notap,
What are we talking about?
It's all over the map.
It should be under and over.
It's under
Or exact.
over, but it should be under over exact. Now you're right about that one over there. Let's move on, Mr. Untitled. The question of the night, and it will be. I'm laughing because I'm back in the chat now. Which team has the most player at the World Junior Championship 2022? So, which team have the most prospect? Anaheim, New Jersey, Montreal, Carolina, or Detroit? Good luck, everybody. Don't forget, guys, click on the likes.
Oh,
Thank you, Danny. RJ, got you. Blackhawks, I got you. Jose, I got you. Ron, I got you. KLS, I got you. Bobby, I got you. KLS, too late. Alexandre Maillard, got you. Tim Morrison, I got you. Corey Hill, I got you. Congratulations, the winner last night, by the way, Mr. Notap. Marco, I got you. Zenith Gaming, I got you. Danny, I got you. Nicolas, I got you. Luc Laforcine, I got you. Welcome back, Mr. Nicolas de Kobe Bono. David, I got you. Marco Larabie, I got you. Mr. Notap, King of Gamer, I got you. Pierre Martin, I got you. Vinny, I got you.
I think I gotta believe it's. I'm gonna go with Detroit. E.
Oh my God!
It's a good start, Mr. Notap. And you're not the only one. Tim Morrison, Bobby, Alexandre Maillard, Marco, Luciano, David, and
How many
David,
do they have, Coach?
Luciano, David, Danny. Danny, what?
How many do they have?
9.
I think it. Oh, 9. That many.
9.
Wow.
Yep.
I thought it would be close between them and
I think the next one was 5, Mr. Notap.
Chicago. But Chicago wasn't on the
No,
list.
I cannot remember which one it was, but
Okay.
Baron, you don't have it.
That's okay.
Question number 2, Mr. Notap. Which player has the most hat trick from this list in the NHL? Coury, Selene, Glenn Anderson, Rick Martin, and Cy Denini. It's not Cy Young, but it's Cy Denini.
Who the heck is Cy? I don't know him.
RJ, I got you. Bobby, KLS, Blackhawks, David, Tim Morrison, Willett. Welcome back, Mr. Willett. Alexandre Maillard, got you. Corey Hill, Jose Duarte. Corey Hill, Danny B. T. I don't know Danny B, but Zenith, David. Thank you. Luc Laforcine, Marco, Vinny, Ron Kings, Pierre Martin, and Mr. ENORTAP now. King of Gamer, Randy and Luciano. Mr. ENORTAP,
Coach.
why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I have an obvious answer, but you would not go there.
Nicolas de Gobi Bono.
You're gonna probably. I thought I'm thinking it's A, but knowing you'll probably go with the guy I said. Who the heck is it? E. I'm gonna go with E. Just
Wait,
knowing
who?
you. E. Cy Deneny.
Oh my God!
You should do this because that's exactly Cy Denini. And
Total
Mr. ENORTAP take the lead. ENORTAP, with Luciano Graziano, 007 got a good answer, that one there. Side DANY have 23 of them. Curry 22, Selene after that, Anderson and Rick Martin follow
Who did
back
he
to
play
back.
for? I don't even know him.
It's one of them. I don't know exactly what he played. I just get the answer of the question, and that's what
I
I
have
did.
to try to get in your head. That's what it is.
I can give you the name after that, what he played before that. Question number 3, mister. This one, Mr. Natap, you'll be proud of me on that one. I'm really proud of that question. It's not been a lot, Mr. Natap, but it take a lot of search to do that one. I'm not going to start. We need to wait. From this list, Wayne Gretzky has the most penalty shot, overtime goal, playoff, hat trick versus Pittsburgh, hat trick with 5 goals that night he scored, or has the most goal and one Canada Cup tournament. Good luck, everybody.
Wow.
Thank you, Danny. Zenit, got you. Blackhawks, I got you. Tim Morrison, I got you. RJ, I got you. Jose, I got you. Randy N, I got you. Marco, KLS. Baron, Nicola, Barbie, I got you. Round with King, I got you. Corey Hill, Luc Lafortune, Alexandre Maillard, David, I got you. Pierre Martin, I got you. Vinny, I got you. Danny San Marco, copy me. Here we go, Mr. Natap. King of Gamer, I got you.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by D. Hat trick with 5 goals.
So
that
when he did a hat trick that night, he had 5 goals in this game.
night? Oh, yeah. He actually had 5 goals. Okay.
Yeah. So how many times he did it? Example. He said the most of what he did.
But we want the most here.
Yeah. Luciano, I got you.
You know what? I'm going to go with most overtime playoff.
Which one you're not sure?
I'm debating between B and E. I'm going to go with E again.
D?
No, either B or E. I'll go with E.
All right. You don't believe it, guys, because not many did it. But the answer, this one, guys, is
Oh my God!
penalty shot.
Really? Wow.
6 times.
I
Overtime.
put that last.
4 goal overtime. Hat trick against Pittsburgh 4 times. He did hat trick 5 goal 5 times. And he has never been over 5 goal and any Canada Cup name of the tournament. You have other Olympics, everything like that. But a Canada Cup tournament.
Yeah, that's tricky. Okay.
It was a tricky one on that
Yeah, I
one.
didn't
So
read
nobody moved. ENORTAP, Bobby, Luciano are at 2 square. Many of you are 1. We are going to move on to question number 4. Many of you can win. Still winning, guys. Don't go nowhere. Still 0-2. You can tie the game. Here we go. It's getting easier. Which one from this list, Mr. Notap, have the most goal with the Pittsburgh Penguins? Pascal Dupuis, Mark Ritchie, Martin Straka, Jake Guenzel, and Mike Ballard. So you have the player from 1980s to 2020.
Yeah,
22.
thanks a lot. Yeah.
Good luck, everybody. Look, Lafortune. All right, let's move on where we at on that one over there. RJ, Zenit, Blackhawks, Bobby, Nicola, Pierre Martin 03, Jose, Bobby, Ron with Kings. Luc Lafortune, John Theodore, Corey Hill, Alexandre Maillard, KLS. Thank you, all of you. KLS, Tim Morrison, Marco Larabi, Mr. ENORTAP, Danny T, and Pierre Martin. David, I got you. And Vinny, I got you. Luciano, I got you. And King of Gamer, I got you. And Mr. ENORTAP, what are you thinking right now?
This is a tough one too. Yeah, you know what? I think it's very close, but I think it's Mike Bullard. E.
Mike Bullard.
Oh my God!
Are you the one take the lead at 3?
It's
Yes,
either him-
it's you.
Oh, right.
Mike
Okay,
Bullard, 180 goal. A little bit far from
I thought it was Straka.
Guanzel and 160 Straka and Richie. The only one who was less is Pascal Dubois. And ENORTAP take the lead at 3. But we have Marco join him and Luc Lafortune at 1.007 at the under the 1.
Oh my God!
Last question of the night. Mr. ENORTAP, you go to win tonight anyway. Maybe
Will
not
the answer
alone.
be
We'll see
E?
what's happening. Or you can win again if you are find the last one.
Is the answer E, Coach?
You had a lot of E tonight, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah, I noticed.
This is a good one. How many goals Max Pacioretty has on 5 versus 5 during his career? 177 goals, 185, 191, 198, and 205. One over there.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody think about, because I put E, is going to be E. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. Danny said E. Ron King said C. Thank you. Nicolas, I got you. KLS, I got you. Jose Duarte, Blackhawks, John Theodore, Alexandre, Zenit, Bobby, Tim Morrison, Luc Lafortune, Corey, RJ, Blackhawks, Marco, Danny, David, Pierre Martin. During your time, let me know, Mr. ENORTAP.
Man. This one's tough for me.
King of Gamer, I got you. Vinny, I got you. Vinny,
Would you
Bobby,
be sneaky?
Luciano can win this game with Mr. ENORTAP if he's wrong. Or maybe someone else can reach, or Marco can, of course, win, of course. Luciano, I got you. Vinny, I got you. And Mr. ENORTAP.
I'm going to go with, oh my gosh. Would you be sneaky and go with E again? Oh my gosh. I'm going to go with,
Oh my God!
I'm going to go with, it's either D or E. I'm going to go with D. But knowing you, you'll go E. I know you.
You got it, Mr.
Oh,
ENORTAP.
right.
You win alone because
All right.
Marco, he was right. He was tied again with you, but the last second, you find a way to win that contest tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. 4 and 5, 198. And you have really important this because you have sprinting and hockey, even strength, right?
Yes.
5 versus 5, but 5 versus 5 tie. And he was only at that categories of 5 on 5, 198 goal he got Pacioretty. It's not including the power play goal or the even strength, because even strength is not that 4 versus 4. It's a goal.
Yeah.
But not on that one. It was honestly 5 versus 5 only, 198. You nailed it, Mr. ENORTAP. Congratulations. We are on fire, Mr. ENORTAP. You find to come back the ENORTAP we know last season and the Hockey Nation Live Show. Congratulations, Mr. ENORTAP. Well done, well deal. We appreciate a lot, again, your participation tonight, the Hockey Nation Live Show. And everybody is happy about this one over there. Well done. I think you have a lot of good question tonight, Mr. Notap.
It was a lot of fun, yes.
Yep, I think
You know
so
what
too.
we didn't do,
I'm coming,
though?
Mr. Notap, with a number. Remember those kind of picture with a number? I'm coming with that
Yes.
one then very soon. And I apologize, I forgot my logo tonight. I missed that one. I was supposed to do it, but I did it. So
We
that
also forgot our true and false today.
we forgot that one, of course. We are too busy. A great show tonight, Mr. Notap. The people was
Awesome.
all in. They make a lot of great comments, everything like that. We really appreciate the participation of everybody. We have a lot of things, and that's all about at the end of the day. So we can see what's going to show up tomorrow. I believe tomorrow we're going maybe to find who has the best mask or the worst mask in the NHL ever. So we're going to look about this tomorrow. We're going to figure out something. Until then, Mr. Manatap, we want to thank you again for your participation to join the Hockey National Show, the Power Play live stream. And we want to remind everybody, of course,
you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
wow, what a show tonight, Mr. Nata. It was great to have all the people in the chat. It was really active, but we want to remind everybody we are back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock p.m. Don't forget my video around 12 o'clock p.m. every single day about the Montreal Canadiens. And, of course, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, find a way to dominate your second half. Or what, Mr. Nata?
Your 2022.
Here we go. Thanks so much, Mr. Nata. Remember, everybody, we love you. Have an amazing, great night. A sweet dream, everybody. Thanks so much, Mr. Nata.
Good night, Coach. Good night,
Good night.
Hockey Nation.
What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just
Thank you, the moderator of the Hockey Nation show tonight, Jose Duarte and Danny T. RJ Calabro for all the insider of the Hockey Nation show. Thanks so much for everything, Mr. Of course, Danny, all the member of the Hockey Nation show. Without you, this will be impossible to produce show every single night. And everybody in the chat tonight, Alexandre Maya, Nicolas de Boubi Bono, Bobby Bagadonuts, Danny T, Nicolas, Alexandre, Luc Laportine, Pierre Martin, Corey Hill, Vinny, James 007, Tim Morrison, Marco Larabi, Luciano Graziano, David, thanks so much for the first time will be with us tonight. Zenith Gamin, thanks so much again to be with us. Of course, with Zela. RJ, thanks so much again. Thanks so much, Tim Morrison.
Come on, get a grip now of all the ways we parted. You showed in your own way we would stand and we would fall united. Come on, get a grip now. Just finish what you started. Don't like the feeling that I've been
Thank you, David.